So since I am airtime, let's just say I am airtime. Let's make a theory on that. So Eric Weinstein and Brian Keating think that your life is worth less than a Twitter gift. Okay, they're calling this issue at hand a Twitter gift. Other places they called it a gift of higher education. So there's a lot of things not even at stake here. There's a lot of dead people and what it takes to get back alive. I don't know. Let's start with what are you preparing to die for? Are you prepared to die for like a teddy bear for real? Because you might have been in this situation all your life. Everything you learned was a lie growing up, and then all this shift happened. Where do you think that came from? Somebody that learned and everything I learned is a lie culture? You think that came from the magic sky? If you're religious and you think a magic sky daddy is going to do all this for you while you sit back and fucking drink beer all fucking day as a Muslim, as you drink alcohol and all this other stuff, why don't you hit me up? Why don't you see if you can debate me? Because I guarantee you've been copying me. I guarantee it. Guarantee it, bro. And you need to know who me is before you start copying and all this other shit. I don't give a fuck. So, copyrights, it's not going to matter because you don't respect those anyway. You don't respect anything that you say you stand for out there. So you're not going to be a kidnapper with a book. That's all we really got. We got kidnappers with books and papers that can go, look at this. Look at this stuff. It's a math process now. All the way down to it's a numbers game to it's a math process, basically. That's what I did to people that want me to live in a fucking numbers game. So I've been doing this for a while, ring around the rosy bowl. Every go around, the slavery gets bigger, the price gets higher for what you can't afford. And, I have a few reasons why that is. I'm not here to be the answer for whatever. But I have ideas that would work, especially for this dilemma where Eric Weinstein's like, well, the religious scientists are talking about religious scientists now because neither the religious nor the scientists know what the fuck is going on because they both have the same hole in the ground. That's kind of what I'm proving here. The great and terrible, frightening day of the Lord. They're all like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be his best friend. I'm gonna are you fucking dreaming? Oh yeah, and they're all just gonna fall over and die and the sky's gonna open? I'll open the fucking sky on you, alright? Then you can sit here and wait. But I want you to put this down in history the day that this would happen and occur. Alright? Because the other angle, when he rips open the sky, you say, well, this guy here said you were coming indefinitely. We didn't do anything to prepare for you still. We don't ever do anything to prepare inside. We just prepare out there and that's all you care about out there. That's all that anybody that would rob me would end up with is an out there. You wouldn't have the hesychasm. You wouldn't have any of that. The actual spiritual experience. The people can try. They can't attack you there and rip you apart there. So you know what they try to do. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a sweet, seductive rub down. I don't fucking care about your spiritual experience. All like, I'm gonna see it develop immediate, and you're gonna lose your voice for developing spiritually. You're not gonna gain your fucking voice. You're gonna lose it for a while, right? Because that's what they do out here. That's what you do out here, isn't it? I'm gonna 5D manifest. Well, you hate commandments. Do you like commands? I don't like commands. I don't like when things are done instantly like that, and I don't have a choice. Then shut the fuck up about 5D manifestation. Because when I do that, you fucking sit around like, I don't know what that looks like. That's impossible. And you'll sit around and fucking do that until you're like, what's wrong with this guy? None of my imagination works like that instantly. None of my mind works like that. You've been sucking my dick for the rest of the mind that you've been looking at. Twitter. Got a gift on Twitter X. And all that collective consciousness that I built that and you kicked me out of it. So what do you think that does? You got a fucking brain all over a paper that don't amount to anything. Other than I already got that over here. I know exactly how to handle you motherfuckers. I really did. So, think what you want about it. I'm not going to sit around here and play fucking games. When you do more than threaten people's lives, You do more than shoot a missile at Israel and go hide in a fucking daycare. You've been hiding in a fucking daycare like this whole time. Because when I first started doing this, it was people that just like, they weren't like I'm, you know, I don't know how to put it, but they weren't like a military people and all that shit. They weren't like, I'll go to fucking World War III over you. I'll fucking go to war, pal. And it's like, all you have is 2 letters to go to war for. It's the same 2 letters Xi Jingping has. and your version of it is a fucking toy, a donut. Right, a donut. There you go. So if you don't have that, then what? See what kind of fucking trouble you cause in the end? Because you can't do things subtle. You can't do things like in a process at all. You have to like take it all away. You're like, don't reach me until you gotta like fucking rip everything out of my hand. Other than that, I'm like, I'm the stuff. All this stuff out here. I'm this, I'm that of the future. Well, you would get destroyed in the future by whatever you think is coming or isn't coming. I'll put it to you that way. If you think Jesus is coming, which he is, so Jesus would return, do you think you're going to be standing there like, I have this book, I got a book? What if he just stood there and was like, okay, what if he did that? He could do whatever he wanted. He was just like, yeah, that's a book, yep, it's a good book. And you were just like, yeah, and he let you do that. You think he would like want to live like that the whole time? Where it's just like letting you rack up dreams and lying, so you can come out in the end like, well, science is all about keeping a machine, and there isn't any people. It's just about getting it on, right? Just getting it the fuck on with one person. While all your lemmings out there like, well, I'm not in a cult. You're in more than a fucking cult. A lifelong legacy of, I don't want to fucking live in this shit. And if you do from 1,000 years ago and 100 years ago, because your family this and your family that and my family was so alive, man. It's like the same thing you did to the other people. When you're like, those people that you're losing this, they're not even alive. Those people that were slaves, they're not even alive. I'm sure you really feel that. I don't really feel any of it, so, I understand some things. Druids, and I don't give a fuck. I don't really feel their pain. Pagans, and I'm gonna do magic. I don't feel your fucking pain. Voodoo, I don't really care. This is what that gets you. Voodoo, this is all what that could do. That's why I really wouldn't care. You can play with that shit all you want. But like, when it comes to, this is just talking over one person about the same problem over and over, then what's the point of playing with voodoo if you're gonna fucking suck the dick of a fucking toy and die for it later? A couple buckies, a couple bucks. I mean, for real. Well, I didn't really think it was going to be all like this. How about that? I didn't really think you would get this stupid. You want to know what else I got that I know? No formula. No formula. The president, they think they're badass. How much money you got, Donald Trump? Joe Biden, how much money and power do you really have? Friends with Mr. Moon. How much fucking voting power do you really have out there? How much? You only have a gun power. In the end, you only have a gun power. And what are you going to use that for? That's fucking totally pointless. So you can run away from a fucking talking bush and live with a fucking talking bush? My sweet bush. Don't tell anybody. You're a fucking murderer with a fucking hand puppet at the end. All that military, all that Xi Jingping. I won't listen to him. He's American. I tell you what I do with it. You out of your mind? Then just sacrifice all your people. Because you already got rid of the other side of people. You have 2 letters. There's no God attached to that. Sorry. There's no God, right? You said no God. All of that stuff, is attached to that. And I don't live for I have a God next week who deals in that. And maybe it's who and maybe it isn't. I'm not living for your fucking head. Or you're gonna fucking definitely pay me money. I'm not gonna fucking live as a hostage to your fucking brain games and your philosophies, or you believe that I made up these ideologies. First of all, you believe you never fucking changed, even when I was using something before what you're in trouble with now. Where you're like, I'm gonna use what I'm in trouble with. Nah, I was using something way different before I was ever like, yeah, sure, whatever, here you go. And I'll do it all again while you have it. Also, while you have science, religion, and two letters, I'm waiting to just clean you the fuck up again and be like, are these your two letters, ma'am, sir, and ma'am? You planned on keeping them heavy, right? Do you know what it takes to like do illogical shit like that in the universe? The universe isn't made out of fucking illogical bullshit. Maybe in your world, the universe was created from random, strange chaos and the scientific method. You know, those people are in vacuum space. They got an abortion. Did you put that there too? And what about vacuum space? What can you tell me about that? Whole big game, right? Big old game. Doesn't have anything to do with people. It has nothing to do. That was just something else that I put. I did that myself. But, you know, the other things were already here. But I get my own things from God. I don't have to fucking discuss that with you. I know how you feel when you want to say that. And I don't want to really, like, get in your way like that. But I'm not going to get God killed. You're not, right? You don't want your God to just, you know, you be killed by, I don't fucking care about a God. I'll kill you all, right? You know, I'm sure there's somebody out there. That's another thing. These little things that people leave open, I haven't even gotten to that yet. It's like you leave these spots for these dictators open. Time and time, again and again. Now you think you're going to like ace everything in one shot, or I don't know what, you know, I know you think a lot of crazy shit. It's not that I give a fuck about what you think. It's that I know that you have the freedom to think like anything you want. And that doesn't mean that you're going to like nail these answers one after the other. And I'm going to sit and like wait for you to be a spirit molester with a medical pastor ID now, a medical church card, so you can talk about Bambi unless you need a medical certification to talk about Bambiology. I mean, get real. Because if you do that to the religious, when it's not mythology, you made the mistake. Now you're like, oh, it's the whole entire thing. And it's like, you're still making a mistake. I'm not going to deal with it. And my God isn't here to like service your fucking lazy ass while you sit there and drink fucking hippie beers and love bombs, or I'm gonna try again with you're just a fucking narcissist. Or you waste all your judgment, especially when you're looking at the abyss out there in the void, and you're like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And you're like, black holes, yeah, black hole. You have any idea? When you say that, it's like, if I was a criminal, if I was like a criminal up there, like did backdoor shit, robbing, kidnapping kids, like you blame the religious and all this extortion, that'd be fucking high time, bro. Be out here fucking drinking adrenochrome and cracking heads open this whole time. Be like, these people are never getting it together. Not only are they never getting it together, it all comes down to not even getting it together for what you're trying to get it together for. Life, what is life? Trying to get it together. I would have gotten it together for a lot differently. Even right now, off the reflection of me, it's like, wow. It's like, but you have to say something. You know, you have to say something. You can't just let that go while everyone's like, oh, you're gonna come out, live your dreams, and they say the dumbest shit, and it's like, didn't you just fucking get done hiding in a fucking academic school? Didn't you just get done hiding in everywhere from your fucking room with children all over, and I kicked you out of fucking every part of that? And now I'm like, what are you gonna go fucking hide in a daycare with the pedophiles and talk about, oh, they're using symbols to take over the world? And then act like, what, that's what I'm doing? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking smacked ass. That's why magic's bad for your head. I know magic and baby stories. I don't give a fuck about any story character you have right now. I don't care. No, I don't care if you have a folklore. I don't care. I will get you fucking murdered easily. I'll probably get you murdered easier than anybody else, really. Especially with AI and the devil and all that. The religious, they don't speak for me. Don't act like they fucking sit there and speak for me like that. Using all this fucking slave labor. No, and then coming out and being like, somebody's got a bad spirit. Don't even fucking try that, loser. Because that's how I would get the psychologist. And it's like, so top game, your God is just as aware as these psychologists. Like, get the fuck out of here. But you're religious. See what I mean by, like, science and religion? They both have the same God. The same fucking, I'm gonna bury you in that hole. Oh, that's a narcissist. Oh, he's a monitoring spirit. All these fucking things you seduce yourself with. I'm talking about like the religious bracket over the last several years. And now you're like, there's a harvest at the end of the world for us. I've been eating that fucking harvest. I ended the world. You're out of fucking ideologies and things you keep in your head. I've been out of them since 2011. You're listening to me more than you're listening to anything else. And I'm like, there isn't anybody in my mind. There isn't anybody there as far as like, I'm talking about, like, are you okay? Are you going to feel self-conscious about that later? Are you sure you're going to let him talk to you like that? Or let him talk like that at all? This is, blah, 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 blah. This is a bad image. Blah, 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 image. I don't care about my image. Especially to the religious. Like, that should come regular. That should come very easily. If you don't understand that part, then your heart's not in it. You have no right to tell anybody else. God won't bless a mess. You have no right to keep me in your nonsense, lukewarm, because I'll spew you out of my mouth. Because you are lukewarm, and I'll just run you the fuck over. I'll take your breath, and you won't have it. Yeah, because you're looking at words. You don't care about that. You don't care about God and Spirit. No, you don't. No, you do not, because Jesus could slay the lawless one and call it breath. He could call it spirit. He can call all sorts of things. You won't have any of it to slay the lawless one. You won't. You'll be sitting here like, I'm waiting for folklore. And that's why you got kidnapped by pagans this time, you fucking idiot. Artists. Oh, it's an art picture. That's how you got here in the first place. Do you remember that part? Do you want to go over that part? Yo, you haven't been here, huh? And I always had a funny thing. And I was like, as soon as like the religious like go in or find out about this, they're gonna dream their face off. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? You could tell them that Satan deceives the entire world, and they'll be like, I never was there. I was never here. I'm not in the world. And I always had a funny thing like, you could take the entire world away from them, just on that alone, that little thing. And it's like, God's not that stupid. Like, you know, that's all planned for. So if you wanted to sit there and do that, purgatory is all planned for. Not by you, of course, not by you. So when do you think it comes? When you plan for it? Oh, those places only come like heaven when I plan for it. Well, how do you know heaven's coming? You know, like, and then think about it. It's like Jesus promised. So what did he promise? And then you had to take the Bible. And then it's like, well, just live in that then. Don't keep saying that there's bad and evil out here. The enemy's not going to win. There's no enemy. The enemy is not out there. He's a fucking lie. Stop lying in my face. Stop lying in my face. You think you're sitting there like, I got the book that already defeated him. No shit, idiot. Why do you think it works so good? And then you're like, Satan's a lie. And then you're like, Satan's out there. He's out there. Oh. It's like someone could make a scary face to you. Oh, it's stupid. Because that's bad to live like. Because then they'll lock up all scary faces. You get in trouble for drawing just a shape. But they're not religious, making the extra rules, right? And Supreme Court buckling down. They're not religious, right? You need a religious judge now, not just a religious scientist. Religious scientist. So Eric Weinstein and Brian Keating think your life is only worth less than a Twitter gift. A lot of people are in that situation right now. I don't have that fucking problem because I planned ahead. I work from home. I do telehealth. I suggest you change your course of health and everything else out there. Else you're going to be fired from the platform. X. Capital. Ooh.